Super Newcastle, Newcastle United FC.
Buongiorno everyone, welcome to Midweek Magpies, where this week we've got special guest 100% NUFC, great little YouTube channel for NUFC, covers matchday experiences and vlogs and does a bit of work elsewhere. Sharky, nice to meet you, mate.
Yeah, I was going back to yours, thanks for having us on.
No worries, mate, thanks for coming on. First place, only one place to start, isn't there? Is that win over Man United?
Unbelievable. I mean, I didn't give it any hope going into the game because you've got to remember our home performances this season haven't been good enough. You know, we haven't won since October, and to pull it out of the bag like we did, I think was a fully deserved performance and a fully deserved win. Absolutely
deserved the win, man. They did have chances. Dubravka was outstanding, but we're more than held one and we wanted it more.
Yeah, we did. I think, like you say, Dubravka had a really good debut. You know, I've always said in my videos alone that this keeper could become something really special, and I was gutted that he didn't get his chance against Crystal Palace, but I felt, you know, in a big game like this at St James's Park, there's no better feeling to start and to, you know, to make a name for yourself, and he made a massive name for himself. And you know, that roll in the 90th minute when he saved it, you know, a point blank effort where it could have been 1-1, it just goes to show that, you know, with the right training he's going to become a really good professional.
The way things have been going lately as well, that would have been typical Newcastle to concede in the last minute. I know you've seen it against Burnley, seen it against Swansea, and the relief, you even seen it in the players when Richie was giving it the old fist pumps when Dubravka saved it.
He's fucking magic, isn't he?
He had the magic hat on that day. He turned up. He hasn't been great this season, but he played his part as well with a great little finish.
He did. I mean, he's been rather quiet the last couple of games. He's been dropped, but again, nobody's bigger than the football club. You know, he was one of our best players in the Championship. He had a really good start this campaign, but I just felt something wasn't right, and Rafa had the right to make a couple of substitutions. But you know, he looked in really good spirits on Sunday, and you know, when you're playing against Manchester United, the whole team has to be up for it, and everybody to a man, even Matt Ritchie again was brilliant. I mean, you know, the goal as well, you know, just took it in. People say it was easy, but the way he hit it, you know, the keeper David could have done a bit better, but
I think he done well putting it to De Gea's side, where, because De Gea seems to take a step to where you think Richie's going to put it, which is straight forward, and he puts it the opposite way, and De Gea's already shifted, so it made it harder. It was quite clever from Richie.
Yeah, it was a brilliant finish, and you know, it got everybody lifted, and it was never going to be easy there and then. You know, going towards the end of the game, it was always going to be a bit panicky, wasn't it?
Backs against the wall, yeah, but the lads, man, even like Lejeune when he blocked Sanchez's shot, and obviously the clearances towards the end. And we'd go back to Dubravka though, like that game could have made or break him really. Like, you know, some people would have came out in that atmosphere, debut in English football against arguably the best club in the world, biggest club in the world anyway. And you know, he came out and he seen the stadium, you could see it in his eyes, and he had that performance, and like to have that personality to overcome that, it shows that apparently it's 4 million we're going to sign him for in the summer if we ever wish to, permanently. What a bargain that could turn out to be.
Pennies, you know, you look at him and you think he's got a good attitude. You know, he's come from Sparta Prague. Nobody really knows a lot about him. I don't personally, but I've seen him in a couple of European games. That's it. I mean, I can't say much more than that. But again, you know, he's coming in at St James's, you know, against a big club in the Premier League, Man United, and you know, he's done no harm. And yeah, like you say, he could have easily turned on the fans could easily have turned on, you know, the new keeper, because you know, you've only got to look back at Lascelles, who again still our goalkeeper.
Good point, right?
You know, he wasn't very good in the Championship, and it's easier to judge someone again in the Premier League because it's a tougher league. But Rafa Benitez seems to know a little bit about him. He trusts him, and if Rafa Benitez sees something in him, you know, he's going to become something special. But you know, it's definitely a debut to remember, and I hope now that he gets better here and then.
Definitely, I mean, it's one hell of a start. Another player that was signed in January that, you know, it looks like we've signed him because it's a new body, Dummet. It's like a new signing, isn't it? Because it's not the same bloke we had previous. Like, what is going on? What's happened there? Lascelles must have given him a good uppercut in training, like got him by the scruff of the neck, because he's certainly pulled his side together, hasn't he?
Yeah, he needed to kick up the arse. I mean, you've seen him since we've signed him. He's looked rather lazy and lethargic, but in the last month or so, he's become a different player. I don't know what's happened. I mean, he seems to be dictating the game. You know, he seems to be passing a lot better. He seems to be creating opportunities. He seems to have a good all-round attitude. And I'll be honest with you, I would have been happy to see him go out on loan in the January. I know a lot of fans would have been the same because of the way he's been this season. But he's been an absolute revelation, and I think myself, where's he come from?
Exactly, that's what I mean. That's why it feels like a new signing, because it's not the Dummet we know of. Even though the Championship he was poor, bar that little cheeky finish against Brighton that he definitely meant. But in the middle of the park, him and Shelvey were just unbelievable. But it is frustrating because you think to yourself, with Dummet, why has it took him this long to get going? But with Shelvey, how he's world class in his day, and why can't you do that week in, week out?
I think it's the inconsistency. I think it's the understanding. It depends on the team that he picks as well, because we all know Rafa Benitez likes to, change the team every now and again. We don't really seem to have a settled midfield, or we don't seem to have a settled centre back or strike force. It seems to rotate, but I think Rafa's starting to find these correct midfielders. You look at Dummet, a revelation. Shelvey, he's got a good attitude. Again, a bit like Richie. Shelvey was the same. He was a bit off, and I guess you probably agree with that. Especially over the Christmas as well. He looked a bit off.
I think everyone's just got the right mindset now. You look at Shelvey now. You've seen him at the start of the season. He's all over the place, as always has been. His discipline's poor, his temperament's shocking. But even against Man U, there was moments in the middle of the park where you think, you pulled away because you thought Shelvey was going to lunge in, but he just timed it to perfection, and he was back with the spraying the balls about, and him and Dummet just complement each other so well, because Shelvey wasn't having to come so deep as well like he normally does in that quarterback role. He was given a bit more freedom because Dummet was, winning the ball in the middle of the park.
Yeah, you talk about Lascelles, and that shows his leadership. The players have needed a shake-up because the results lately haven't been good enough. And you look back at the Burnley game. We're winning 1-0. We need to see out a game. You look back at the Crystal Palace game. You're winning 1-0. See a game out, and you've got to be consistent, especially at home as well. And if you want to stay in the Premier League, it's important that you get your 3 points, and that it doesn't matter where they come, whether win, lose, ugly, whatever. You've got to get your points. And I think against Man United, there's no place for inconsistency, because if we did that, it could have been a totally different scoreline against their quality. We can't deny what a good team they are, whether they play boring or not. That's a good team.
On paper, it's unbelievable. I was thinking 2-1 either way before the game. Then when I seen this, especially going forward, and I was scared going in that game when you seen their starting 11. But then how we're silenced, like Pogba, Martial was missing chances, Sanchez maybe did alright, but didn't get involved as much as he could have. But I don't think we should be focusing on their team as much. I think we should be focusing on ours, because it wasn't like, oh man, you didn't turn up and you nicked a win. It was 1-0, but we deserved it.
Yeah, we had a couple of key decisions go against us as well. I mean, the penalty, that was a penalty straight away. I don't know how it just sums up the referees in the Premier League this season. For me, they haven't been good enough. They're just as bad as the Championship ones, in my opinion.
I had some stinkers last year as well, didn't we?
I think in the first half, it reminds me of a lot of games. We were all over Man United in that first half. We could easily have scored 2 or 3 more, and we could have made it a lot more comfortable than what it was. But we wanted it more. Man United, for me, must have looked at Newcastle and thought,
push over this, isn't it?
Yeah, they're in the relegation zone. They're not really up to much. Let's just get 1 goal and see it out. Whereas I think we had a game plan, and it's important that when you play these big clubs that you have a game plan, and that was huge to our victory.
Way to perfection, didn't it?
Yeah, exactly.
Mourinho doesn't like coming up the others, does he?
No, but he
says he likes coming to Boy Robson's home, but I like coming to Boy Robson's home as well, and hopefully we'll stay up and see him again next year, because I look forward to Man U at home. Yeah, you give a lot of good credit. I've always liked Mourinho. I mean, yes, he does have his little wins and stuff, but he was very
he loves Newcastle.
That was surprising, wasn't it?
My dad's even said that it sounds really stupid that in later life, if Rafa Benitez decides that it's too much for him, or that's
I don't think it does sound stupid. Now we're going to say
he wants to manage Newcastle. I think it could be something that could happen in the future.
Honestly, if he had the funds, because Mourinho wouldn't work without funds.
No,
he's always had it.
A bit like Rafa at the moment.
But to be fair though, players, managers in that bracket, you're going to get them funds, otherwise other clubs will, because the world class managers go to world class clubs. So if Newcastle got taken over, one day you could see Mourinho here, because he obviously does have a connection with the club, and it'll become because Bob Robson taught him everything he knew.
Yeah, I mean, this is a huge club. You've got to realise that, and the fans, we are the club, and the club is nothing about the fans. And we get 52,000. You've only got to go back to last season in the Championship. Playing Burton Albion on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, and we get 50,000. Other games in the Championship this season, even when things go badly wrong, away from home. I've been to a few away games this season, and we're packing out all these grounds, even on a Monday night, Tuesday night. And
it's impossible to get tickets for away games, man, because they go like that. Even I was looking for Friday night against Spurs.
Yeah,
gone. Obviously Sunday, Chelsea, when we played them in the cup a few weeks ago, gone. Even though it was on telly on a Sunday afternoon. It's credit to the fans, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got the best fans in the world, in my opinion. We've got some of the best supporters, and we'll back the club through thick and thin. And I think over the course of the season, we've shown that even with the disappointment of the takeover not happening, whether that happens in the summer, that remains to be seen. But the fans are still there.
The fans will always be there regardless, and I think in a way that's a hindrance to the sale, because Ashley Nazi's got to buy the balls, isn't he?
Yeah,
when people talk about boycotts and all that, we wouldn't do it. We couldn't do it
because we're lining his back pockets. When you think about it, we're going in because we love the club. We're paying for the food, we're paying for the tickets, and all the other things in between in the ground. And I think if it wasn't for our supporters, then maybe he would have a different intention, but he knows that he's making money from Sky, he's making money from all sorts of different areas, and
it just shows huge new TV deals just been announced as well. Crazy money.
So it might make him want to stay for a bit longer, but the quicker he pisses off the bill.
Do you think he will?
I hope so. I'd like to think he can. The Amanda Staveley one, I'm not too sure, to be honest with you. I reckon there'll be more interest because it's the summer. If we stay in the Premier League, we've got the Premier League money, the club will have a bit more interest at heart, and they'll look at Newcastle and think, this is a club with 52,000 fans. You've got box clubs like Burnley, with like 16,000 fans, no disrespect. But they're in the top 7. Why can't we? Why should we want a battle to stay in the Premier League? Where
exactly. When you look at Burnley's budget as well, and they've got a good manager there, and he's done well with this budget that he's got. So Rafa's key to take over happening, though, isn't he? Yeah,
he is, and I believe that he needs some more money in the January. If not, he'll need a bigger budget that was promised. in the January that we'll get £100 million, whatever to spend. I think in the summer we need money desperate because we need to make sure that we strengthen this team and we get better quality players. You looked over the course of the January when we were linked with like Camaro, and there was a guy who we were linked with from Feyenoord.
Jorgensen. They're meant to be breaking the transfer record.
That shocked me.
Loan deals, and that was it. Not a penny spent.
It shocks us because I think for a club of our size and the fact we haven't broken our transfer record, in years, over a decade now, is quite embarrassing.
Joke, isn't it?
It's embarrassing, mate.
A tremendous result against Man United. Do you think we've got enough to stay up?
I'd like to think so. The team, we're very good at the back. We're very solid. We're a very solid unit. The only issue is goals. And if you want to stay in the Premier League, you've got to score goals. And the problem that we've had in the last couple of months has been evident is killing the game off. When we got 1-0 up.
Mentioned at the games at home, where the game should have been dead and buried, and teams have got late equalisers, late winners. It's cost you valuable points, which hopefully won't come back to bite with.
Yeah, I think if you look at the points tally, we're currently on 28, and with the points that we've dropped, really we should be on about 34.
Would have been top 10 if we had to sign a decent striker, basically.
Exactly. I mean, we've signed Slimani, haven't we, from Leicester.
Yeah.
Now, is he really the answer? Well, that remains to be seen. I haven't seen a great deal of him. I would be lying if I said he was amazing because I've seen a lot of him from Sporting Lisbon days. Leicester, he hasn't quite done the grade there. But in terms of staying up, it's going to be difficult to say because the top 10 the bottom 10 teams, anything could happen. It can all change, and there's only 2, 3, 4 points in it.
It's crazy how tight it is, and there's a lot of teams that are going to be playing against each other. I mean, we've got West Brom here at home, I think it is, Huddersfield at home.
Got to win them.
They're all playing each other. I think we've got Southampton as well. So those are the touch and go games for the two, where we seem to struggle against teams around where you've seen it with Burnley, Swansea, and then we finish off with like Chelsea at home, which I'd probably be more confident of than the teams around with. But they've got to pick up. We've got to pick up them points. And do you think Slimani's good enough? I mean, I seen him at Sporting Lisbon. He was really highly rated. He had a huge price tag. There was clubs all around Europe after him, but he didn't really fit into Leicester's style of play, and you can't really get Vardy and Moraes out the team, and that's what they like to play. And he's renowned for his bullet headers and his strength. So he's got to be better than Hoslu, hasn't
he? Yeah, he has to be. I mean, Hoslu is just useless, isn't he? I mean, he's just there to paper over the cracks a little bit, and he to try and get with the goals. Simply hasn't been good enough. And £5 million from Stoke, it's a bargain buy from Sports Direct, isn't it?
That's all it is, eh?
A bit like Hoslu, isn't it? All these loan deals that we're getting, it's a bit fishy, isn't it? But I don't know. Is he going to be the answer? I don't know. I can't really say whether he's good or bad or not because, again, like you say, you've seen us Sporting Lisbon, Leicester didn't quite make the grade, but he's got to hit the ground running, doesn't he? I mean, he's injury prone, and this is the problem that we've got. I think he should be back for the game against Bournemouth down next week.
Yeah, he's meant to be fit for Bournemouth next week away. On a Saturday, are you confident going at that?
I am. I think Bournemouth, I think we might have hit them at the right time because they had a really good run where they were winning back-to-back games. Beat Chelsea along the way.
Got out of trouble a little bit, didn't they?
Yeah, and they lost 4-1 to Bournemouth, to Huddersfield, and it just goes to show that anybody could beat anyone. That is the bottom 10 for you.
That is it, aye.
Like we should be
going
there.
We can beat Man Utd, we can get beat off these. Like I'm confident going to Bournemouth. Like I fancy a 2-1 away win. I remember I was down there for the season that we went down.
1-1.
We won 1-0. We had about 2 shots on target.
It was hard to watch.
It was a lunchtime kick-off, and Perez scored the winner. But I fancy we go down there and get the points.
Yeah, I've got 2-1 as well. I think Bournemouth have got goal scorers, they've got pace, up front. No game's easy in the Premier League, and Bournemouth are there and thereabouts with us as well. So, and Eddie Howe, by the way, is doing a great job. Taking Bournemouth from League 2, hasn't he?
Unbelievable job. Great young English manager.
Love to see him at Newcastle. If it wasn't for Mourinho, if Rafa had set it up, give
someone
him a
like him. Yeah. So we've touched on the huge performances from Diarmi and Shelvey and Lascelles and Dubravka. Some of that's been going unnoticed the last few games since combat injury. is Paul Dummet and how good of an impact he's had at left back. You know, he's had a lot of stick off fans saying he's not good enough. Me myself, I've said that before, but especially since he's come back from injury, he's really shredded up at the back, and he is underrated. And he's just signed a new deal today until 2020. So we're happy about that.
Yeah, I'm more than happy. You know, he's a local lad. Obviously retired from Wales, hasn't he? You know, it's a bit of a shame, but Rafa's gotten better, and that just goes to show Rafa's quality that he's got as a coach, that he can mature players, and that's what he's done with Paul Dummet over the course of the last 6 weeks, 6 months. And you've only got to look at the previous managers like Alan Pardew. You look at Steve McLaren. They could manage themselves. And he's a local lad, and he does get a lot of stick, for not going forward too much. But I'd rather them do what he's doing than someone like Yamad, who's going to get forward and not track back, and that's what was.
We seem to have got that on the other side as well, haven't we? In Yedlin, where he is better going forward, and Dummet's obviously better just staying put. Rafa said in the interview the day as well, you know what you're going to get from Dummet, and that's like solidarity. Well, 110% every game, so it's good to have it on both flanks, really.
Yeah, he's solid in it. Again, you look at his performances in the last couple of games, and especially the Man United one, that was huge.
Outstanding.
He's putting his body on the line, and that's what you expect from a local lad. He's got Newcastle in his heart, and I think he's only going to get better. And I hope that if he does keep performing, that there's no interest from other clubs, because he is. If he's highly rated by Rafa Benitez, there will be suitors out there, and I hope that he just keeps delivering what he's doing. And you look at Paul Dummet, you could actually play him at centre half, you could play him at centre back.
That's where his original position was, wasn't that, centre back?
He's a very good centre back, and I think
it's good to have a utility player at the squad, isn't it? I mean, we were talking before we came on air that even if we'd signed a left back in the summer, it'd be good to even still have him in about the squad for injury purposes. If you wanting to push him at centre back,
yeah.
And if you say about potential suitors, that there might be, because obviously that's why he's tied down to a new deal.
Exactly. I mean, again, you've only got to look at the foundation that Rafa Benitez is building at the back, and to have a successful team, you've got to build from the back, and that's what he's doing with Paul Dummet. And look at Jamal Lascelles. That they're talking with communicators, and we didn't have that in the season we went down, and Rafa had to pick up pieces, didn't he? Aye. And you look back at that Southampton game way back when we got relegated, and there's people smashing walls down. Was it Jan Matson?
Yeah, when he broke his wrist, because Lascelles started kicking off. Didn't he? That was the start of like Lascelles growing into the man and leader that he is today, really, at such a young age.
Yeah, and when I look at the foundation as well, obviously Jamal Lascelles, you've got Paul Dummet. The only question is the other centre back, Lejeune, Clark.
Lejeune looked decent.
And Bemba. You think, who's he going to pick? Because we need a consistent centre back that's going to partner alongside, Jamal Lascelles. Yeah, then pretty much picks himself, unless he picks Manquillo, of course. But I don't think Manquillo's the answer. I think they're probably a lot better. But it's hard, isn't it? You've got to build from the back, and I think that's what Rafa's trying to do. It's slowly. It's not going to be easy with the budget that he's working on. But he's going to mature. He's going to get better, and hopefully now he kicks in.
Another potential player that clubs could be looking at, it's got to be Jamal Lascelles, isn't it? And that's what I'm scared of. You could see someone like a Liverpool coming in with a huge bid in the summer for someone like him, because of how unbelievable he's been in quite a poor side, or a side that's battling relegation. For him to stand out and for him to captain with through the Championship promotion campaign, do you think he's on the verge of a big money move, or do you think he would stay here?
I think he would stay here, with the fact he's captain, he's managing a big club in Newcastle. He's learned a lot under Rafa Benitez. Now, the only danger for Jamal Lascelles, yes, he's a great player. Hopefully he goes to the World Cup, but whether Gareth Southgate picks him, that's another matter. But I think he's just got to stay grounded. He's got to keep performing on the pitch with Rafa and the team, and he's just got to keep leading the team out, and he's got to keep delivering. And I think he's doing no harm at the moment. But yeah, I totally agree. There's going to be clubs out there like Liverpool. There's going to be like Tottenham, teams like that. They want to build around a good English centre back, and we are a selling club. There's no getting away from that at all, and that's the most worrying thing. Mike Ashley's been known to do that in the past. You look at Demba Ba, who we got from West Ham, for nothing. Chelsea put in a £7 million bid. He's made £7 million profit,
which was such a bargain for him. And obviously he didn't do much there because he didn't get much a chance. But for how good Demba Ba was for us, the goals to game ratio, he could have went for a lot more. But you see, Ashley just sees the money. And, I'll do that. Really.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Rafa Benitez. He's building a team now, and that was you look back at the time where we had Demba Ba, we had Cisse, we had Kabay, we had Ben Arthur. Mike Ashley was starting to rip the team out, and that's what really condones to relegation. Under Steve McLaren, not the fact that he was awful anyway to begin with, but the team was not getting any better. I mean, who would trust Steve McLaren with money these days? Jesus, I wouldn't trust him with my life. But I think with Rafa Benitez, if Jamal Lascelles goes, then I think Rafa Benitez might make a decision to walk away, because I think
he's a key asset, like someone who you can see him building the club around.
Yeah, because that's what he's done. He's gone from footballer to a man, and look, Jamal Lascelles, he's a talker, he's a leader. He's not scared to say what he has to say, and that's what the fans want. You want someone who talks, someone who's going to communicate, someone who's just going to give someone a rollicking if they need it. And especially at half time, if we're like 2 or 3-0 down, Rafa Benitez, I think he's known as a calm guy. I think that's up to the captain to go and say something, and I think
he obviously does.
I would be good if he leaves, because he is a real leader, and I think if he does go, I don't think he's going to go for cheap.
Nah, it'll be big money, and it will probably come down with Ashley, see or not, because Ashley will force a deal. It'll be like a Carroll-esque deal where he forces big money, but you'd hope we'll get a new owner in who says like, right, sits everyone down, Rafa, Jamal, captain and manager.
Yeah, of course.
Saying we're going to build a team around you, Rafa, you're going to get 100 million. That's obviously the dream in it. But you mentioned it before. Should Lascelles go to the World Cup, or would you like him to go to the World Cup?
I would like him to go to the World Cup. It would be hard to say whether he will or not, because again, you look
Southgate in England don't pick past Manchester.
This is it. They pick from the top 6, don't they? And if you play for the top 6 clubs, and you got to remember half these players, they don't even get in the first team these days, and it's been a very poor season for a lot of English players. You look back at the goalkeepers.
Even look at Jones and Small on the weekend.
Absolutely terrible.
You'd rather have Lascelles in your team than them two, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
them two are going to be straight on the plane to Russia. I know about that.
Of course, he does the work that has to be done, and he's not scared to put his body on the line. And you look at Smalling and Jones, and they're just bottling it. You think, hold on, you're getting paid ridiculous wages a week. For goodness sake, put your bodies on the line. You're playing for Manchester United, one of the biggest clubs in the world, and for you to bottle it like that, not for the first time. I mean, I've watched Phil Jones so many times for Man United. I don't think he's fit for that club.
Nah, he's not good enough, is he? And even Small's looked at in glimpses, but then he had that move from Fulham, and he doesn't look good enough either.
No,
for all the money they spend to have that poor defence, a bit bad management, really, isn't it? And I mean, they're saying that Lindelof, I don't know what's happening. I think he had a bit of injury. I don't know if he's on the bench on the weekend. And then Marcus Rojo, you think the money that they're spending on defenders,
it's all going to waste, isn't it? I mean, Jamal Lascelles, he has had a really good season, but I think at the moment, he's just got to focus on his football, keep Newcastle in the Premier League, and Gareth Southgate, if he goes by his word of picking younger players, then he's got to pick for Jamal Lascelles. I think you look at Keane there, who had a potential of going to the World Cup. When he signed from Burnley, he's not really had a look, and he's been very poor for Everton. So that should be a way for Jamal Lascelles to get straight in.
Even under our defensive manager like Allardyce, he's not even doing well.
He's got to stick to his word. I think if he sticks, if he delivers and Newcastle stay up and we'll have a solid finish. If he's not even going to make the start 11, at least have him on the bench for reserve.
At least have him in the squad, because if you're not going to play him, then his personality will shine through though, because he's one of those players, like you say, who's not scared to stand up and give a good rollick and give a good team talk, and he's got that leadership quality. He took us up from the Championship, so he's got the right mental state there, and he's a decent footballer as well. Yeah, no, you're right. I think again, he's just got to focus on his football for now, and hopefully Gareth Southgate comes in and gives him an opportunity. But then again, England have got a few friendlies coming up next month.
Yeah, but I think Italy's one of them, and then is it Brazil?
It might be Italy and Brazil, and I think so. Italy and Germany, something.
Give him a shout and see what he can do. But I wouldn't just judge him on those friendlies, because again, it's only a friendly. But if he gets his cap, then that's
it's a good start, isn't it?
He deserves it.
You get him into the squad, and then you give him a shout and a friendly when there's nothing to lose. He absolutely deserves it.
And look at Cahill for Chelsea as well. He hasn't been the same player for Chelsea, because again, John Terry's not there. And for me, I think Lascelles, again, if he just focuses on what he's doing, being a real captain at Newcastle, and will perform and will stay up, I don't see why he can't.
Right, well, there's a FA Cup break this weekend, so the two now playing until next weekend against Bournemouth, like we've said. Question I was asking after the Luton game to a few fans, obviously doesn't matter now, but would you swap relegation for the FA Cup? I'm
actually one for the FA Cup, to be fair, so yeah, I would, because I would trust that if we win the FA Cup, we're still attractive like we are anyway. When we go down, that we can come straight back up. The players would want to stay anyway, because we've got a bit of silverware. Yes, I think it's a major trophy, and at least you can say we've won something, and we haven't won something in years. Probably since the old UEFA Cup, the Fairs Cup, and I think
'69.
This club deserves a trophy. It's been starved of success for many years, and I think a trip out to Wembley, in a FA Cup glory. Yeah, if we go down, just hoping that will come straight back.
We've got a good record in the Championship, haven't we?
Yeah.
I'm glad you said that, because loads of fans that I interviewed after the Luton game, the majority of them said no, and I just couldn't get my head around it, because you want to stay in the Premier League, but you want to, in my lifetime, I want to see where Newcastle win a trophy. There's so many people that haven't in the past 40, 50, nearly 60 years now. So to see us win a trophy, It would be incredible. You know what I mean? You'd be on the piss for a week.
Well, again, this is a massive club. You know, we've got a great following, and you know, to have been starved for success like that we have. You know, we came close to in the Europa League. You know, back under Alan Pardew, which I know not everyone likes, but he worked with what he could. You know, his hands were tied. We could have done something in the Europa League. You know, we tried last season in the Championship. You know, fair play. You know, Hull showed that Premier League quality. We could have, you know, got into the semi-finals, but. Why would you not want an FA Cup? It's a major trophy, and if we won a major trophy going down, them lot down the road, you know, they'll be so jealous. And that's if a club of our size, we've got to be aiming for trophies. And that, again, you've just got to trust that will come straight back up. And with the size of our stadium, the facilities, it's a no-brainer.
I mean, I'm reading it again there. I was trying to think of something else, and I forgot what I was going to say. Aye, so just imagine the scenes whenever we won the FA Cup. The way the streets would be, the way everyone, you know, the celebrations would be incredible. And it would be better than, you know, you see the season where you'd finish 17th. As much as we do want to stay up, like, to see a cup would be the ultimate.
Well, this is it, because again, it'd be like a party atmosphere, and again, I wouldn't be going to work. You know, I'd be on this. You know, I'd be on all, you know, exactly like. You know, a bit like a Leicester moment. You know, again, you know, you want to. Every season we go into the season with hope that we're going to do something, and again, we'll have expectation at the moment isn't high, but even with Rafa, we're just got to hope that we can do something, and we want to see a bit of silverware. You know, we want to be able to say, you know, we've won this, we've won that, and just to see, well, you know, not even get past the third or fourth round of more cup competitions is very disappointing, and. You know, we haven't been at the new Wembley yet, which again we'll be going in the league, but it'll not feel the same. It's not the same as like going to the.
It's the 90s that I was too young that I missed, but we touched on coming close last year in the Europa League. In the 90s, a couple of years ago, sorry to apologize you. In the 90s, when we had back-to-back FA Cup finals and we got beat, man, it's just so frustrating, so unlucky. And even then, like, I remember I was reading Shea Given's new autobiography, and he was saying, like, the fans were unbelievable, like, we're just being beat. We've lost, everyone was down, everyone's thinking, oh, we've let everyone down, and the fans are still amazing.
Because we're not plastic fans, you know.
Imagine if we actually won it.
It's, you know, it's gut-wrenching when you look back, and you know, obviously I wasn't old enough to see it, but I must be about 3 or 4. You know, back in, it was at 96 when we blew a 12-point lead at the top of the Premier League, and we've still got the support that we've got, and again, you look back to Shea Given, you know, one of the best keepers I've ever seen. You know, again, we are plastic fans, you know, we aren't deluded, you know, we want a lot of fans get known for being deluded, but you know, we see the club for what it is, and we are a big club, and we've been mismanaged. If not mismanaged, we've been done by the guys at the top. And you know, when you've got that clampet called you know, Lee Charnley, who I have absolutely no idea what he's part of the club for, you know, what he just jumps up,
picks up money for no reason, really.
It's just, you know, if we can get rid of these absolute clampets, Mike Ashley, you know, and get rid of the whole boardroom. You know, maybe, you know, Malcolm MacDonald, give him something. I wouldn't say he's bad. I think he's just working for Mike Ashley. I would give him something within the club, but maybe he's not at that level. But until again, it all goes back to Mike Ashley, doesn't it? You know, if Mike Ashley has a little bit more ambition, like Rafa Benitez does, you would be winning things. And the question to you would be, how long would Rafa Benitez stay around with the current ownership? And if Mike Ashley stays.
I don't think he'll stay. I don't think he'll stay in the summer of Ashley still, yeah.
I'm the same.
There's no way he's going to put up with that again. With his broken promises for 2 or 3 windows in a row.
Yeah, again, you know, Rafa Benitez is one of the biggest managers that we've had, you know, since Kevin Keegan, Bobby Robson, you know, you add Chris Hughton in there, you know.
One of the biggest in the world. Like, there's many teams across the world that would have Rafa Benitez as the manager. Again,
you know, you've got to give Rafa Benitez a bit of credit for the patience that he's shown, you know, especially in the summer, especially this January, to be fair, when you look at this January.
Get on the list at the start of January, not getting anything until 3 loans on deadline day.
I think, again, like you say, he's going to wait until the summer, see what happens, and if he's still there and he doesn't get any money, then, again, as much as you would talk about, like, Jamal Lascelles having a good team, you know, you want to be able to have money to make that team better. And you know, you look at our current strike force, is it good enough? No, it's not. You know, you look at the midfield, is it good enough? I don't think so. I think John Shelby's got an attitude like he doesn't want to be here. You know, he's talked with West Ham. Richie, decent, but he gets played out of position. That's one thing I will criticise Rafa for. I think he could be good in number 10, but again, that's how he plays. I don't know. It's hard, and
I'd like to see Rich. I've touched on the podcast. I'd like to see Richie playing the number 10. Like, you've even seen him. He was kind of in that area for the Man Utd goal.
Yeah, again,
where you'd be floating about more, because he hasn't got the pace in the Premier League to be out wide. So it'd be nice to have pace on the wings and then have Richie in the number 10 role.
Yeah, again, you look at Murphy, you know, the young lad who was signed from Norwich, and a lot of fans were getting on his back.
Glimpses.
Yeah, like, you were paid £12 million, oh, he's not good enough. But you got to remember, he rarely played over the course of the pre-season. You know, not for us, you look knackered, you know, in the league. But maybe he just needed to be eased in. That's what you got to do with most new players that we're signing. You know, you can see that we're getting the best out of Jacob Murphy, but again, he needs a consistent run. You know, Atsu's doing well, you know, from Chelsea, who was signed from Chelsea. And yeah, Murphy, again, if you play him on the wing and then you play Atsu on the other side and then you play Matt Ritchie in the middle, it would work, and he delivered a lot more. And you watch his game back at Bournemouth, you know, he was very good at creating opportunities, and that's how Bournemouth, you know, they stayed in the Premier League.
He was a star player for them, wasn't he? That's what was surprising when he dropped down to us.
And he scored in the game that got Steve McCarroll the sack, so more with that, really, to be fair.
Just watching, everyone. Enjoy yourself.